and this is what he's become. He's behind everybody. He's there for the community, just there for everyone, and I appreciate him as my son, and he helped me out a lot in some things that I went through as I'm a single parent, work at Owens Corning, still there. Be out next year though, but I appreciate having a son like him and raising him, and he helped raise his sister, and I appreciate that for everything that he's done for me. And I know he's going to do a lot for all of you guys because he's a family person and a friend. Whenever you need someone to talk to, Jeremy's there for you. He will look things up if you need things done. But I just appreciate him as my son, and I love you much. And I'd like to introduce you right now, Jeremy Eugene Blake, as our mayor of Newark.
I wasn't expecting so many people here. Love you too. One love. One love. You know, just a great evening, Newark. Just a really great evening. You know, my name is Jeremy Blake, and I want to be your next mayor. I do need to take a moment to say thank you to some wonderful people. You know, as you heard tonight, I want to say thank you to Marcia Phelps, who has always been a true public servant and community leader. I want to say thank you to former Mayor Bruce Bain for his decades of leadership to the people of Newark, with service both on City Council and as our city's chief executive. And it was, even as a young man, you know, when Bruce was on City Council, it was some of his council speeches that I, you know, remember. So, you know, he always had that fire and that wit and that, you know, you said the word knowledge earlier, and I know Bruce most definitely had that, and he shared that with me, and I still remember that today. But I do want to say thank you to, you know, I think the judges were here. Judge Brandstuhl and Judge Stansberry. I think they had to leave for another event or another activity, but thank you for both of them for being here tonight. And I have to thank my mentor. You know, tonight wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for this gentleman's encouragement for me serving on his youth council. I probably wouldn't be here tonight if it wasn't for this gentleman's forethought in having neighborhood policing. And Sonny Villinger was the South Side police officer, and that was under the Stair administration for having community policing, real neighborhood policing, at which those officers worked with block watches and tried to really build community. And you know, we call him now the people's mayor because if he got an invitation from anyone, it didn't matter if it was a small group or a large group, he would go. If he could fit it in his calendar, he would go. And that was my friend and my mentor, Frank Stair, the people's mayor. Additionally, I need to give a round of applause to our MC for the evening, our brother in labor, AFL-CIO president, council president, Dave McElfresh. Let's give him a round of applause. And again, let's give another round of applause for who I'm forever grateful and forever humbled to have the unconditional love of my mother. And so Desiree, my mom, thank you so much. And I can't do this alone, folks. You know, already this campaign has been a success because of the people who have stepped up to volunteer and say that they are willing to work for new leadership in our city. Those on Team Blake, who we've been meeting, if you could just please raise your hand so that we can all give you a round of applause. So that Sean Fennell, Shelley Woodruff, Susan Camps, Desiree Blake, Colleen Goodhart, Gail Williams. I don't see many hands up. Where's the hands? Gail Williams, Julie Melroy, Ruth Handelman, Bruce Bain, Susan Bain, Frank Stair, Irene and Joe Kennedy, Greg Rinda, Ram Nagiera, Philip, Eli, and Jerica Blake. And let's give my team a whole round of applause, please. Unlike any other campaign, from school board to city council or even the state rep campaign last year, this is different, and it's already shown that it's different. And this just being April, I've recognized that. People have come out. We announced on Martin Luther King Day, and it is very different. And so Bruce has shared with you that. But I'm very fortunate to have the experience and the skill set and the talent as our communications director, Joe Williams. Thank you, Joe Williams, for coming on board. And someone who serves as a political advisor, a sounding board, community advocate, a change maker in himself, and someone who I have complete confidence and trust in, and who is taking my picture right now, my campaign manager, Adam Rhodes. Let's give it up for Adam Rhodes. But the biggest thank you goes to you, Newark. Thank you, Newark, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. In this election, Jeff Hall and I are competitors. Jeff and I did work together. We tried to reestablish the youth council earlier on when I first got on the council, but he messed that up. And as leaders of the city, we are going to work together. I am as legislation came before council, and he's the current mayor, we have agreed on legislation because we do both love the city. I will not deny that. And as this campaign begins, it is my hope to maintain a working relationship while showing a new vision for Newark. Today, we begin a journey to make history. We are destined to create a movement for change. When I announced on Martin Luther King Day my intention to run for mayor, people began reaching out. They began reaching out like I've never seen before. And we are up against powerful interests. A powerful machine, a powerful mayor. But I remember a quote from Dr. King, faith, he said, is taking the first step even when you can't see the whole staircase. Well, we can't see the whole staircase as we start this journey, but we have faith. An abiding faith in this city, in its people, and in its future. So we take this step together for our Newark. And as Pastor Wynn from Trinity AME Church says, we laid our faith, overcome our fears. Look at where we are today. Just look at us. We have faith. We have determined to provide new leadership and change. Together, we can and will finally put the interests of our people, all of our people, ahead of the interests of the powerful few. Together, we can and will make Newark a place where all of our neighborhoods are successful. And that means that we can and we will make each neighborhood, all of our neighborhoods, safe. Newark City Schools reported in January that almost 300 students identify as homeless. Almost 300. The Department of Job and Family Services reports that at the end of 2018, that we had 522 children in foster care. We can and we will give every single one of our children, all of our children, access to opportunities that they deserve. It is time to give our neighborhoods, all of our neighborhoods, the same attention that we give to the downtown. It's time that we invest in our neighborhoods. It's time that we make sure that the neighborhoods, all of our neighborhoods, and I'm stressing that tonight because that's important, are invested. All of our neighbors are invested in each other and in their communities by strengthening block watches and prioritizing neighborhood policing. This is not a us versus them or neighborhood versus the downtown. We're all in this together, and we will grow together. Thank you. We can and we will build trust between our people and the mayor's office so that communities and the mayor trust one another, not fear one another. We can and we will govern in the spirit of Mayor Frank Stair to be the people's mayor. Together, we can and we will remake Newark to become thriving, prosperous, better, stronger, fairer for everyone. Over the past few months, every single day, I've been reminded sometimes painfully, that our campaign, our work matters. I've seen the hurt of people who've lost close ones to our city's plague of homelessness. Just last weekend, Andy Lowendick, I don't know where Andy's over there, he shared with me a story of taking in a classmate off the street who was homeless. Aaron Grady, a veteran of the U.S. Army, was on the streets near Hudson Avenue. My own cousin, Terrence, was homeless. I've seen the tent cities in our community. I've seen those living underneath the Jefferson Street Bridge. But I'm hopeful that our grassroots organizations, those ladies back there, others, social service agencies, and government can hear the cries that with courage and determination tears into a demand for change, setting up intentional and coordinated efforts to take in folks who are in need and get them on the proper avenue of care. That's our challenge. Our duty as a city, as leaders, as neighbors, as people, is to stand with these brothers and sisters and children and put an end to chronic homelessness once and for all. We must say enough is enough. For a long time, I've been meeting with block watches in our city, and we'll continue to meet with them once elected mayor. But these citizens groups provide additional eyes and ears for our safety. These groups are a part of the anatomy of safety in our city. They serve neighborhoods, and they just simply want city government that's going to help, not a hindrance. It's not too much to ask. So we're going to help our block watches and not stand in their way. We will have a public open conversation about neighborhood policing and the need for additional police officers to build those relationships. We also know that in our community that we have to make a focus on an affordable housing plan and reliable public transportation are two issues which need purposeful, collaborative leadership from the mayor's office. Now, if we recognize and respect all of our people and make our streets safer, our neighborhoods stronger, and our businesses, large and small, more prosperous, then people will want to stay here, and they want to move here. If we work together to solve our toughest challenges, Newark will grow. We cannot afford to fail. Out there tonight, outside this room, a lot of little girls and boys are watching. They're watching us. They're seeing the beginning of something, a little different. They're seeing a city reborn, a city where it doesn't matter what color you are, where it doesn't matter who you love, just as long as you love with all your heart. And in Newark, we will build together. We will celebrate our differences. We will embrace our uniquenesses. And we will make certain that we all have every opportunity to succeed. Every child out there should know this. Each of you one day can reach your dreams. Want to know why? Because we are going to develop the networks and resources to support your freedom and instill fairness for all. For all. We know that by contrast, that our Newark, my candidacy, and my administration will create a transparent city government with doors open to all in our community. All in our community. You know, my mom didn't have much money, but she did have her dignity and her dreams for me and my sister. Mom taught me the values of honesty, decency, hard work, education, and she gave me faith, and the faith that put me where I am today. You know, my mom's listening with more than a little pride in her son, as you probably heard earlier, but my sister's here too, and I'm so proud of my sister, Jerica, and I don't know where she is, but she's over there. Well, I'm so proud of her. You know, Mom raised me on her own, so I didn't have a father figure except for my grandpa. You know, Grandpa's not with us anymore. But Grandpa, as you look at your grandson, look at everyone here. You look at this city, and I know you see it where we're going to move this city to. And so I want to thank you, Grandpa. This is our beginning, but your sacrifices helped us born anew. And I appreciate your lessons, and I have them in my heart. So I want to thank my grandpa for his guidance. But again, we can't do this alone. I need your help. Everyone in this room, we need your help. We need you to connect with this campaign. I need you to be an ambassador out in this community. And those tables along the back row, if you're taking a leadership role in a precinct, hosting a house party so I can meet your neighbors and other colleagues, or a meet and greet. If we want to come to either the 4th of July event or some other community event to do some crowd canvassing at an event, I need you. If you want to walk in the parade, there's going to be the 4th of July parade and the Labor Day parade later on. I need you. We will win if you all step up and volunteer and help this campaign. We will win. And unfortunately, I do got to ask this. If you can give $10, $15, $20 to help us get our message out, we will win. You know, the goal of this campaign is to get 50% plus one of the votes come November. Let me clearly say to you tonight that we looked at the data. Adam looked at the data. I didn't. Adam looked at it. But we looked at the data, and we have a path to victory. This is a winnable race, folks. This is a winnable race. My friends, look at the person next to you. You may be strangers, but in this room, in this city, we're all neighbors. We all have worth. We are valued. And I want you to feel the power of unity, neighbor to neighbor. That comes when we unite and join together as one love, one Newark, our Newark. And I want you to look at your neighbor. Look at your neighbor. Say this to them. This is our Newark. Oh, this is our Newark. This is. This is. Thank you all so much. God bless Newark, and thank you so much for being here.